All right, so we got a crazy video coming out of Morocco. We got some sisters on a girl trip, and apparently some locals threw a tomato at them. Let's check it out.
They just threw a tomato at us, probably because of the way we're dressed. This is what we're wearing, but this is not. They threw a tomato at us. What the hell? Are we dressed like prostitutes?
No, I don't think so.
What?
High quality guys.
Guys, they threw a tomato at us. They took
All
the
right,
tomato.
so right there, as you can see, she has her cleavage out. Now, Morocco is a pretty one of the more liberal countries when it comes to more liberal Muslim countries. But if you look at what they try to explain to tourists, they say tell the women to dress modestly, all right, and don't show cleavage. So as you can see, she kind of got her boobies out for the most part, and like the locals weren't feeling that. Actually, it's her and the girl right next to her in her green shirt. They kind of just mobbing out. Nothing really wrong with having a girls trip, but you gotta pay attention to what they're saying in concerns of some safety things in these countries. Is really important. And I know they want to look beautiful, they want to look nice, and they want to try to maybe attract a local guy to have some exotic flavoring or something to end their nightcap for their trip. But at the same time, listen, it's a conservative country. They don't like their women to dress a certain way. They don't want that message being put out to their women, basically. And like I said before, Morocco is pretty liberal, but they do warn you. I mean, people about certain cultural norms, basically, that they should abide by. So what they have to understand is, as we're traveling overseas, you got a new wave, new generation of women and guys, traveling the world. What you have to understand is when you're a woman and you're traveling, you have to understand the cultural etiquette, basically, more so than even a man. Now, don't get me wrong, guys get in trouble overseas as well. But when it comes to being a woman, the locals, the citizens of that country understand how you can not necessarily motivate, but the message that you're sending out to the women, they're not down with it. All right. So I don't think this was because of their race necessarily. Of course, Morocco is in Africa, but they didn't like the way the girls was dressed. As you can see, they got the cleavage out, and that's just not what the locals wanted to see, basically.
They took the tomato thing real fucking serious.
It's not cool, of course, but at the same time, just abide by the rules of the land that you're going to. It's just that simple. We see this all the time where sisters get in trouble while they overseas because they just think that everything is the West. They think they can just kind of wild out, do their thing like they're in Miami, but they're not in Miami. And I think these girls might be from another part of Africa or something like that, or the UK, because I hear a little accent with them. But obviously, she knew what it was right away. So she knew, or they knew that they wasn't supposed to be necessarily dressed like that. But as you can see, they're still dressed like that. All right. So it's all about cultural etiquette. Hey, if they see this, just abide, because it can get worse than this. All right. They're unprotected. They don't have any men around them. They don't have any security around them. All right. They on a girls trip. They want to look sexy for the local guys, but that's not going to apply everywhere you go in every country. Just dress nice, dress appropriately, all right? You're in somebody else's land, somebody else's rules, somebody else's customs, all right? She knew exactly why they threw that tomato at her because she was dressed a certain way. And she was like, guys, do I look a prostitute? Not necessarily. You don't look a prostitute to guys from the West, but you might look a prostitute there. As a matter of fact, there was an incident right here in Walking Street, right, where a sister tried to go into a certain restaurant, and she said that it was because she was black, they didn't let her in. But I've been in that restaurant. I've eaten at a restaurant a couple of times. It's not that she was black. It was the fact that they assumed that she was an African prostitute, more or less. All right? So just keep that in mind. Ladies, come on. Got to do a little bit better. Got to do a little bit better. All right? Peace. What's good, family? Make sure to check out the official Passport Bros merch store.